Hi, my name is Ameer Ferhad. Today I'm going to present about my final assessment. So now I go to introduction. First, in 2018, the US imposed tariff on 250 US dollar billion of Chinese import to address issue like intellectual property thief and the trade deficit. China retaliated with tariff on key US exports such as chemical and soybeans. This major trade shock disrupted global supply chain, which rely on geography, specialization, and just-in-time manufacturing as a result. Companies had to rethink production and sourcing to manage highest costs and risks. Malaysia emerged as a key alternative supply hub due to its location and strong manufacturing sectors. Many companies adopted the China Plus One strategy, leading to 11% increase in Malaysia export to the US in 2019. This report explores three key impact of the tariff. The first one is supply chain disruption and realignment. Second one is increased cost and inflation pressures. And the last one is trade division strategy. So now we move to the first key. Global supply chain centered on China were deeply disrupted by the tariff imposed by the Trump administration. With tariff of 10% to 25% on over 250 billion US dollar of Chinese goods, many companies adopted the China Plus One strategy, adding countries like Vietnam, Indonesia, Mexico, and Malaysia to their supply chain to reduce risk. Malaysia gained significantly due to its location, infrastructure, and manufacture strength, causing export to the US to grow over 11% in 2019. However, this shift also created challenges such as capacity bottlenecks, longer shipping routes, and highest logistic costs. The complexity increased as new trade rules and custom procedures require companies to spend more on compliance, especially smaller firms. In Malaysia, rising demand strain infrastructure and labour markets, leading the government to support supplier capacity building and regulatory simplification. This realignment signal a shift away from China-centric supply chain, but add cost and complexity to global trades. So for the last key, trade division strategies. The US put tariff on many Chinese goods, so companies started shifting some work to countries like Malaysia, Vietnam, and Mexico to avoid extra costs. This is called trade division. Malaysia became an important place for final assembly because of its location, goods infrastructure, and skilled workers. This brought more foreign investment and growth in industries like electronics and automotive parts. But trade divisions also made things more complex and costly. With longer shipping, extra steps, and stricter custom rules, the US increased checks to stop companies from avoiding tariffs, raising costs for smaller firms. Malaysia improved its custom system and helped exporters follow the rules. Even with risk of penalties, the trade division rule gave Malaysia big economy benefits. To keep this going, Malaysia needs to keep investing in compliance and fair trades. So, in conclusion, the tariff introduced a major shift in global trade policies, profoundly impacting supply chain worldwide. Many businesses redirected manufacturing away from China, restructuring their global footprint. This shift created opportunities for countries like Malaysia, but also brought operational challenge and higher supply chain costs. Malaysia benefited from increased foreign investment, export growth, and integration into global value chain. However, it faced infrastructure strain, inflationary pressure, and the needs for stronger custom and compliance system. Malaysia's experience show how trade policy change can subtly but deeply affect an interconnected economy. To succeed in this evolving environment, companies and government must focus on agility, technology, and regulatory compliance. This report highlight this key impact both globally and in Malaysia, supported by detailed data and analysis. So that's all from me. Thank you.